Welcome Magic fans to our Oath of the Gatewatch pre-release unboxing. We'll be unboxing the pre-release pack you get for the event and one of the new intro packs. So to start with, let's open up one of these beautiful Oath of the Gatewatch packs. And I understand that this design for the deck boxes that they're giving away is going to be standard throughout all future pre-releases. So let's open up and see what we get. There's the rider, nice image from the set. And our pre-release card, Corrupted Crossroads. Nice. Adds one of the new colorless mana to your mana pool, and pay 1 life and tap, and you can add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Spend this mana only to cast a spell with Devoid. Handy Eldrazi decks. Now let's start opening these up. The Gatewatch boosters. And first up, skip to the interesting uncommons and rares. Well, the new Wastelands. There's two kinds of art for these. There's the ones that Ulamog has caused the devastation on, and one that Kozilek has caused the devastation on. So his Seer's Lantern, good source of waste colorless mana as well. Nullcore, exile a creature card from your graveyard, put a 2/2 black zombie creature token onto the battlefield. That works well with their new legend. Tears of Valakut, can't be countered for spells abilities and deals 5 damage to creature with flying. Rolling Waters, return up to 2 target creatures your opponent's control to their owner's hand. Very handy, and the target player, which can be you, draws 2 cards, but it's a little pricey at 5 and 2 blue. And Overwhelming Denial for our rare. Surge cost of 2, the new surge mechanic, meaning that if you've played a spell already in the turn, you can then play the spell for its surge cost, so that's halving the cost of this. And Overwhelming Denial can't be countered by spells or abilities and counter target spell. So just a really powerful counter spell. And a full out mountain. See if we get any of the new Eldrazi Shards in there as well, because there's some new art ones as well. Our next pack. Searing Light, Spark Magic Gambit, Taskner. Unknown Shore is another good one for producing the colorless mana that you'll need for your new Eldrazi and Devoid spells. This one also adds 1 mana of any color to your mana pool, so good for mana fixing. Once again, Crumbling Vestige, another good one for the colorless mana, and then when it comes into play, you can add 1 mana of any color. So once again, really good for those Eldrazi decks. Next, Spider's a good one. Walker of the Wastes. Trample 4/4, Walker of the Wastes, +1/+1 for each land you control named Wastes. So if you've got a lot of your waste cards in your deck, because they're basic lands, you can have more than 4, then this guy is going to get really big. Relief Captain, when a Relief Captain enters the battlefield, support 3, it supports another one of the new abilities, where you put a +1/+1 counter on each up to 3 other target creatures when he comes into play. And also an ally, so triggering their abilities. Embodiment of Insight, Elemental Vigilance. Land creatures you control have vigilance. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you may have target land you control become a 3/3 elemental creature with haste until end of turn. It's still a land. And it would also have vigilance, meaning the land wouldn't tap if you attacked with it. And a Vile Redeemer. Devoid Flash 3/3, 2 and 1 green. When you cast Vile Redeemer, you may pay 1 colorless mana. If you do, put a 1/1 colorless Eldrazi Scion creature token onto the battlefield for each non-token creature that died under your control this turn. So if you just lost a load of things, you can flash them in, pay that cost, and get a load of Scion tokens. Full Out Forest and Zombie token. Our next one. Sky Scarrow. Good flyer. Oblivion Strike, that's a good piece of removal there. Devoid, exile target creature for 3 and 1 black. Malekith's Soothsayer, Cohort, another one of the abilities where you tap it and tap another untapped ally. You control, you draw a card, and you lose 1 life. Pyromancer's Assault, that's another good one. When you cast your second spell, so like with Surge, each turn your Pyromancer's Assault deals 2 damage to target creature or player. Warping Whale, instant, with choose 1. Exile target creature with power or toughness 1 or less. Counter target sorcery spell, or put 1/1 colourless Eldrazi Scion onto the battlefield. And there's, it heals 1 and 1 of the new mana. And Nissa, Voice of Zendikar. That's a very nice Planeswalker. Her and Chandra are the new Planeswalkers for this set. And she's 2 green, 1 other, and has +1 for a 0/1 green plant creature token onto the battlefield. You might be thinking that's not that good, but it's an instant blocker for her. So if you're short on blockers, just create another one, and it's upping her loyalty. For -2, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. That's a lot better. Making your entire armies much bigger and triggering a whole load of abilities. You gain X life, and you draw X cards where X is the number of lands you control for the -7. So getting good life gain and a few more cards. Refilling your hand, that's good. And has loyalty points 3. And island and core ally token. And last of the Gatewatch pack. I'll just have a quick look at the Zendikar rares, and then we'll move on to the intro pack. Containment Membrane is another good one. Class it with a surge cost of just 1 blue, and it's enchants the creature. It doesn't untap during its control as untap step. Ballast Null. When Ballast Null enters the battlefield, return up to 2 target creatures cards from your graveyard to your hand. 4/5, a 4 and 1 black and 1 green. Thought Harvester, 3 and 1 blue. Flying. Devoid. When you cast a colourless spell, target opponent exiles the top card of his or her library. So a good way to really get those cards into exile for using with some of the Eldrazi abilities. Reckless Bushwhacker, another Goblin Warrior and ally. 2 colours and 1 red, and has Surge 1 and 1 red, so you can get him out cheap. He also has Haste, and when Goblin Reckless Bushwhacker enters the battlefield, if its Surge cost was paid, other creatures you control get +1/+0, and it gains Haste until end of turn. So if you put out another creature beforehand, play this guy with a Surge cost, and then that other creature's getting +1/+0 and Haste as well. And Eldrazi Obligator. Now this one I had a lot of fun with at the pre-release. He's an amazing creature, 2 and 1 red, 3/1 haste, but has the ability when you cast Eldrazi Obligator, you may pay 1 and 1 colourless. If you do, gain control of target creature until end of turn, untap that creature, and it gains haste until end of turn. So say they've just put in a large Eldrazi 7/8, and you play this guy, take it from them. Not only have you taken away their blocker, you're attacking with the Eldrazi you've taken from them, and this one as well. And the planes. Ooh, and the foil planes. Nice. And one of the new Scions. Right, we'll just have a quick look at the Zendikar rares, and then we'll move on to the intro pack. Just a Canopy Vista. With this Broodmonitor, you can imagine what I meant with the Obligator. They put that into play, then you just take it and swing with both. So a Hedron Grinder. Always fun. And a Foil Swamp. And an emblem. Always nice. And now we'll open up the intro pack and see what we get. You know one of the rares already, Munda's Vanguard, which is Core Knight Ally, 3/3, for 4 and 1 white, and has Cohort, tap and untap ally creature you control, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. So makes your entire army bigger. Would work very well with Nissa. So let's see what the other rare in here is. Now, this is why you should try and open these things before you go on camera. And bear with me just a second as I get something to open this. We'll come back to that in a minute when I find something to open it with. And just focus on 2 booster packs. See what we got in here. Another Oblivion Strike, that's always good. And bottom one is Fury, Trample. Land creatures you control have trample. And whenever a land enters the battlefield under control, you may have target land you control become a 3/3 elemental creature with haste until end of turn. It's still a land. Essence Depleter, 2/3, 2 and 1 black. Devoid, target opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Relentless Hunter, 1 green and 1 red. Relentless Hunter gets +1/+1 and gains trample until end of turn. And it's 3/3 creature, and that's very cheap cost. Nice if you've got one of the planeswalkers in play. And Night Ally token there. And the other one. That's a good one there. That's the Jawar Isle Avenger. Sphinx, 3/3 for 4 and 1 blue. It has Surge, 2 and 1 blue. So you get 3 for your flyer for just 2 and 1 blue. Roiling Waters again. Make a Stand, 2 and 1 white. Controls you control get +1/+0 and gain indestructible until end of turn. Very handy and very good price. Ruin in their wake. You see Kozilek and Ulamog there, causing their ruin behind them. Search your library for a basic land card and reveal it. You may put that card onto the battlefield tapped if you control a land named Wastes. Otherwise, put that card into your hand and shuffle your library. And Reality Smasher. Now, this is a really good one. So a lot of play at the pre-release. Has 4 and 1 colorless. Trample, haste, 5/5. Whenever Reality Smasher becomes the target of a spell an opponent controls, counter that spell unless its controller discards a card. So just a good way to get rid of their cards and make them think twice about stopping this one. Flight Forest and Plant Token. And we'll just see if we can get into this so we can have a quick look at what that other rare is. And it is Drana's Chosen. Vampire Shaman ally, tap an untapped ally creature you control. Put a 2/2 black zombie creature token onto the battlefield tap. So another way to get the zombies. See if there's anything else in here of interest. The new Vampire Envoy, a Vampire Cleric ally. Flying when the Vampire Envoy becomes tapped, you gain 1 life. So good for some of the decks we've seen used on our channel. Another Drana's Emissary. Zulaport Chain Mage. Cliffhaven Vampire. Vampire Warrior ally, flying. When you gain 1 life, and each opponent loses 1 life. So very handy for some of the decks you may have seen on our other videos. And I think that's going to be it. Allied Reinforcements. Put 2/2 white Night Ally creature tokens onto the battlefield. It's very good for triggering the ally abilities. Right, that's all for this time, Magic fans. We'll hope to see you in our next vid where we'll be adding some of these cards to our existing decks and seeing how they improve them. Remember to like and subscribe, and see you next time.